Upon a lot of people that learning the Hebrew, this is the importance of it because you can, yes, you can, if you're reading and you're studying the Bible, some things that the English language will not clearly give you the perfect understanding of. So in your studies, you're able to go back and reference back to the actual written scripture or what was written before, before the translations, before the different versions came along. You can go back and actually see for yourself. Now, a lot of people say, well, I'll just stick to this one version. Well, that's fine if you are studying along that version, still tracing back, because this is the reason why they're constantly bringing out new versions all the time. And if you think, I mean, really, if the first King James Version was totally 100% correct, why the Revised and the New American Standard and so on and so on? This is simply because even they find errors. They learn more about the language and about the customs, so they'll update, and bring. Now, that is good in this perspective. That is necessary, but at the same time, still, for your own sake, for your own soul, study for yourself. You can, you always want to put trust in those who have the authority to do so, but they're still a human too. They're still men. And when they get together, they have to study. They had to go to school and learn the languages. Just like you can do. Pick up a book and learn the language. So don't put all your trust in men. Be not like Jesus said. Don't be deceived. Let no man deceive you. So don't put all your trust in man. Place your trust in God. Let Him guide you. He can give you direction as far as where to go to learn the language. In many churches, again, this is why I'm so thankful to the bishop, because in many churches they're not doing this. You won't hear no one speaking about the Hebrew language in detail and having Hebrew classes. But you know what? It's that time. It is that time. We live in a time now where we are able to. Now look at this crowd. There was a time when people in the crowd could not read or write, or was not allowed to read or write. And if you got caught trying to, you will be found hung from a tree. Okay, so this is realistic. So a lot of what we're learning today, we couldn't learn years ago. And that's not too far ago. But, the slavery didn't end a couple thousand years ago. It's just a couple hundred years, not even barely 200 years ago. We're not realizing how close we are still to that time. So it should be, you should consider yourself privileged in the sense that now in this day and time, you are able to learn. You have no excuses. You're able to grow. There's the internet. A lot of people fear the internet. No, the internet is what it is. You can go and find the same information in the library that you can find on the internet, good or bad. So it's your discretion. You use your own proper judgment. You can go on the internet and find everything, including things that we didn't have access to just 20, 30 years ago. Information that you could not find, get your hands on. You can push a few buttons and get the actual documents, government documents, state documents, and going back to religious documents, spiritual documents, things that you need to study and read. You can find. So there's no excuse. So in saying all of this, I want to get into some things about the Hebrew language itself, because it goes hand in hand. Now we started the class and we talked about a few things in class. I actually recorded one of the classes and had a few questions. Things that when you never heard certain things before, it does sound strange, a little foreign to you, and it's not something that you're just going to get used to immediately. It's the same as in school. When you growing up in school, you're in kindergarten, first grade, and you start learning mathematics. You're not learning calculus and geometry. You're first learning 1 + 1 = 2. So in the same thing, when you're coming into something like this, you're not going to just grasp everything all at once. And of course, some things are going to be even tougher to really get the gist of it. But that's what being diligent is about. This is not foreign, should not be foreign to you. I'm going to tell you why in a minute. It's going to really Sometimes scattered. Scattered throughout the world. A lot of little kids slaughtered who tried to stay and fight, but many of them scattered. Scattered into the hills. Now, what does it mean when it says scattered into the hills? Going, what is it saying in the Bible? You have to see a map to understand this well, but if you understand what it's saying, they did not go up north towards their enemy. They did not go up into Rome, into the European countries. They went south, back to where they know they came from. And when I say south, I'm talking Africa. This is historical. This is not conspiracy. This is realistic study. They went into Africa, different parts of Africa, and tried to melt back into the many parts of Africa. Some successfully did. And to this day, you can read about who we call the Palashes of Ethiopia. They are direct descendants of Hebrews, black. Now, they don't call. I lived in D.C. for a while, and I worked with a lot of people. They have a whole area in D.C. that the Ethiopian people really run. They got all the businesses. They don't call themselves black. They're like, no, I'm not black. I'm Ethiopian. No, you're black. Man, you're darker than me. You're black. But no, they don't consider themselves black because they know who they are. They know that their lineage, their home, their land, and they know that they're people. They know this. It's not a guess. It's knowledge. And knowing this makes a difference when you know that you are the bloodline of God. But it's realistic. But it's not just them. But you can say now, many of those that scattered, Rome never stopped hunting. I want y'all to understand. After 70 AD, after this is after the resurrection and Jesus is gone. 30 some odd years later, Rome came in and just leveled Jerusalem.
That's right, too.
After this happened, you must understand, they did not stop. They knew that many of us escaped. They kept looking for history. Never stopped. It didn't close a curtain and say, okay, that's into this part. Everything kept moving, kept going. Life kept going. And it's still the same to this day. You wonder why we live the way we do and why history has been in America the way it is, because if you just check the lineage of the people who have been in power, and if you check your lineage, you will see that it is the exact same conflict that was in the Bible. It's never stopped. And it didn't start during the time of Jesus. It started all the way back in the Old Testament. You understand the bloodline. So it's important for you to know who you are. Learning the Hebrew holidays, it's not something that we're just trying to get recognition and patronize. This is part of who you are, and you really must remember this. Now it doesn't mean that you got to change. No. See, being a Christian, the first Christians that followed Jesus, even Jesus himself, they were Hebrews. This didn't go into the Greek, into the Roman period, until much later. Even when Paul did his traveling, of course, up in Turkey, but most, even Peter himself, they went first to the Hebrews. They went into Syria and it says in the Bible, they went first to the Jews only. That was your first church. So it's not a Roman thing, it's not a Greek thing. It's a you thing, honestly. But it's for the people of the world, because Jesus said when he came to a particular people. He came looking for a particular people because he knew that part of his reason for coming was to raise a group of priests. When God says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, in short, for rejecting knowledge, I shall reject thee, thou shalt be no priest unto me. The Hebrews, and certain ones of them were to be the priests to the world. God said that the world would come to my house, and my house would be a house of prayer for all nations. But the priests of that temple would be you, would be the Hebrew. That's who he came to raise first. First, I came to the lost sheep of the house of Israel only. First, and out of them would be priests that would teach the word through the teaching of the Messiah, Jesus. So, this is why it's still important to you. You're not separate. Understand, the people who are in Jerusalem, well, many say, well, I don't look like the people over there. That's because, and they know that what I'm about to say is nothing new. Those people over there, no, they're not the original people. They know, if you ask the average, they'll tell you where they're from. They'll tell you their lineage. They're Ashkenazi. Some of them are Ashkenazi and Sephardi. I mean, these are Ashkenazi Jews. They call themselves Jews because they, at their time back in history, they converted over into what we call Judaism. They were not born by bloodline as Hebrew Israelites. They were the ones who converted over. They lineage, and they can be traced back in the Bible, but they're not the seed of Abraham. This is why Jesus said, "You are of your father." He was talking to the Jebusites who were running the temple at the time. He said, "You are not of your father Abraham. You're not of the seed. Abraham brought you down and allowed you to run the temple. They were cleansed and allowed to come in and take positions in the temple. Okay, these were the Jebusite priests, but they were not of the bloodline. Okay, and this is the people who are the remnants of the people who are there now. Okay, they know who they are, and they know who you are. You just don't know who you are, and that's been one of our biggest problems. And they never, as we came over here slaves, of course they don't want us to remember. They don't want you to know your royal lineage. But you would not remember, and a lot of them didn't. After they start, I'm pretty sure y'all know Nat Turner, the story of Nat Turner. And I mean, there were a lot of rebellions back then on those plantations because some of them did begin to learn. They began to wake up, and there were a lot of they got right too. But so it's important that you know who you are. And every man, every seed is not the same. I mean, when you go back in the Bible, and I tell a lot of people, if you want to start understanding this, go to Genesis. There's a lot in Genesis that we miss when we're studying the Bible. And especially in Hebrew, because that's where a lot of the words that are defined in English that you'll see they are greater. The definitions are much broader when you go back to the actual words. Even in those opening lines I had spoken before, in the beginning God created the heavens and earth. That opening right there said you can write a book about that opening if you understand what it means in Hebrew. Bareshit bara Elohim et hashemayim v'ha'aretz. That opening line, and which is why it is by itself. Because if you see the Hebrew, it's separated. Some of the scholars even say they want to claim that it's a title. That by itself is the title. Then it goes into and the earth was without form and void. Knowing this, knowing the language and reading it in that way, it reads differently than it does with the understanding than it does in the English. Because it gives even when it gets down to the part of the creation of Adam and Eve. Now, if you read in Genesis, I was thinking it's kind of tricky. Get him a small amount. That's good. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. And God said, "Let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish, over the sea, over the fowl of the air, over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. Now, understanding that last verse. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. Later it goes on to the account of the creation of Adam. Now, understand something. The Bible, again, the language gives more detail. But you have to understand what you're reading in Genesis. The first man was not Adam. Not the first man. Adam was a created man for a purpose. The first human beings on the planet were what we just read when God created. He says God created him in his image, his own image. He created them, male and female. In the Hebrew, they're called Adam. Adam. You hear the word Adamites sometimes, male and female. And later on, it even says, and he called their name Adam, speaking both male and female. Said he called their name Adam. Okay, this is part of what we call the pre-Adamite world. There was a world before the world that we know, and it's broken down in the Hebrew in much more detail. But even in the English, you can see it clearly. But you have to understand what you're reading. Now, when this was written, and the priests were reading, and those again in their time understood. It's us in these later times that we have lost full meaning of a lot of the scriptures. And when you're reading in English, you don't get that full meaning. So, understanding the Adama, that means of the ground. Adama means of the ground, so which is why we're called earthlings, people of the ground. The later creation of Adam is Ha-Adam, the man. And out of him was Nechebal, or Eve, we call him Eve, Nechebal. Now, what took place, briefly, you can go into part of the proof of showing you what I mean by when I say there's two sets of people. Adam and Eve, of course, we know they had the sons Cain and Abel. Cain killed Abel, which left Adam and Eve and Cain. But during the conversation that Cain had with God, if you notice, Cain was in fear of people who he was afraid to go out of the garden, go out into the world for fear of people who would seek to kill him. A people who would seek to kill him. Not only that, he said, but it says also he took a wife from amongst these people. Where did he get a wife from? If there were no other people on the planet. Who did he leave the garden and go amongst? If there were no other people on the planet. These first people are not the same in the same way. This is why I'm telling you, it's important you know who you are. The first people, the Adamites, the Adam, were not the same as Adam and his wife Nechebal or Eve. This is why they were taken and put in a special place we call the Garden of Eden, which is Gan Eden. It is a specified place that they were taken to. And they were personally going to be groomed, raised in this garden. And for a purpose, because of what it says. They were going to be. God gave us this planet this is our domain. That's why he said, I give dominion of the fish, the sea, the air. You have dominion of the whole world. This was where we were supposed to rule in the universe. This is ours that he gave to Adam. Okay? And not to all the Adamites, but to Adam. Okay? And from there, this is why you have a straight bloodline that goes down. We're talking about Methuselah, Enoch, Methuselah, and certain people that came out of this lineage, out of that bloodline, all the way down to our Messiah. Not from the Adam. But it is important to understand when you're reading scripture and you're talking about people as a person, most of what we learn growing up, we're told, of course, that Adam was the first man and Eve was the wife, and then we look at certain images and we don't see ourselves and things like that. All these things play a part in making you forget who you are because God has always, no matter how many times you look in the Bible that the children of Israel, us, have rebelled, He's always called us back. And in the end time, on the last great day, what's called the Great Day of Atonement, Yom Navarim, the Great Day of Atonement. This is the Yom Kippur that we practice now should always be committed because the great Yom Kippur was the crucifixion, the great atonement for all time. And now we have a high priest. The high priest used to go into the most holy of holies on this day, on Yom Kippur, and he would go in and make atonement for all the people before God, that one person, and speak the sacred name, which we talked about a few minutes ago. He would speak that sacred name, and this would be, and also make the sacrifice, and this would be for the atonement for the people. But if you notice, when it talks about the crucifixion, and it talks about the temple, the curtain was torn, the veil was lifted. And from that point on, instead of the high priest, we could all go before the throne, boldly before the throne. And now we have an eternal high priest in the heavens. So this is still a day of atonement for every year, for as a community, just like we do communion, in remembrance of Him. Yom Kippur is in remembrance of the great atonement, the crucifixion and resurrection. So, of course, all these things are never to be forgotten. And one of the main things that we should never forget, I'm going to keep track of time. God commanded that we should never forget His name. Now, what do I mean by name? And I know a couple of people that's been in my Hebrew class know what I mean by name. But we're going to speak from the Bible, because in the Bible, God reveals what He preferred to be recognized by, and said, "This is my name, always." Don't ever forget this. Now, this is a commandment from the Creator. Okay, so one of the tricks of the enemy, of the devil, is to make you forget. Deceit is not so much as a forceful thing, because you can resist when there's force coming upon you. But when someone deceives you into something, tricks you into something, coaches you into something over a period of time, you forget.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that's how tricky the enemy is. And you can't, don't think for 1 second. I tell my Hebrew class this: if you notice that when the Messiah was baptized, the first thing he did when he came out of the water, and the Spirit said, "Go into the wilderness." He listened, went into the wilderness. The enemy came and tempted him with the word. He tempted him with who he is in the flesh. Tempted him that if he would tempt the Son of God in the flesh, He's going to tempt you. He's going to stay on you to make sure that you don't get what you need. So these are things that I want you to understand. Starting out, I really want, and I'm saying all this so you can get the more detailed version in the Hebrew class. So, but understand something: the name of God, okay, that He revealed to Moses for a long time, because as they were in Egypt, they were in Egypt for a long time, and but they were living in Egypt, but not so much as slaves like it's really taught, until a certain time that a Pharaoh came in that did not know the God of Israel, did not just know Joseph, did not know his people, and so that's when the conflict began. But Moses, when he went into the desert and he's at the burning bush, and he's asking God, after God is telling him to go back, to the Pharaoh and tell him that I'm getting my people out of here. And Moses is like, well, who should I tell him is sending me? And we read in the Bible, I am that I am. In Hebrew, that is Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya. Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya. And I wanted to write this because there's something important about that you understand. See, now you hear that, but when you see it written and then understand words that go with that, you begin to see it. From that, you get Yahuwah. Yahweh, we know it's Yahweh, Jehovah in English, but you will understand something in it. One thing about the Hebrew language, when you learn the alphabet of the Hebrew language, there are certain letters in English that did not appear in the Hebrew, or actually not in any other Semitic language. They are pretty much new. And even in the King James, at the time of the King James, there was no letter J in the language. Everywhere you see in the Bible letter J, there was actually a Y. In the language, there's the letter, it's called Yod. It's a Y. So, like if you see Jeremiah, it's Yeremiah. If you see James, it's Yaakov. Okay? Everywhere, anywhere you see a J. So now, even Jesus, that's what his name is, Yeshua, Yeshua, Yeshua. Okay? And there are many, even in the Arabic, it's Yesu. And also, because I was questioning about that too, a lot of people ask me, why are you speaking Arabic and Hebrew and you in church? Because Arabic and Hebrew are actually one and the same. Only after they, through time, diverged and split, that they became very diverse, but they come from one man and his two sons. So it's one language which, after a period of time, still today. A lot of the words, if you know the Hebrew and the Arabic, is still the same. But so these are, this word, these names, like Jehovah, which is actually, again, no letter J, which is Yahweh. It has a meaning. It's not just a pretty name or something that sounds good to say. Or, when we're saying, it has a meaning. God, anything that God reveals is for a purpose. And if He says it's forever, you best believe it's for a serious purpose. It's not something that we should say, okay, well, that's for them back then. But here we are here today. No. It's still important. It's going to be important. So you understand what it means when you're saying this. Yahuwah. When in the Hebrew language, when you are calling to someone, if I see someone across, if I see Jeremy across the street, and if I was in Jerusalem, I would say, yeah, Jeremy. Hey, like we say, hey, you, hey, Jeremy. Yeah, Jeremy. Okay, so when you see Yah in Yahuwah or Yahweh, some people say Yahweh, you're saying, oh, or hey. Okay? The who in the Hebrew language is the word he. Like him, he. When you say who, that means he. If you want to say her, it's ha. Okay? But if you want to say who, or if you want to say like he, you're saying who. So Yahoo means oh he. Okay? And when you say who what, or who what, you meaning you're talking about the existence. Who what? The self-existing.
Help us out.
So he is Yahuwah. Oh, he who is. Oh, he who is the existence. Oh, he who is what? He who is Rapha. He who is Nisa. He who is Shalom, my peace. Shalom me. Okay, so when you're saying Jehovah Rapha or Yahuwah Rapha, you're saying, oh, he who is my healer. Okay, or my provider. Or my banner. My peace. Oh, and you're saying this because, like I've told my Hebrew class, and like many people must understand, the creator of all things does not have a name that you can pronounce, that any man can pronounce. Because every language of the world are languages that only came into existence after he created men. So what would his name be before the creation of man? To call upon Yahuwah. The reason why he said, that's why he said to Moses, this is my name, but to your forefathers I did not give this name. Right there in the same verse, it said they did not call me by this name. They called me by another name, according to their language. Because you're not gonna giving a person your name, you're giving a person a particular power. When you don't understand, this is why all throughout history, people always want to know your name. Any type of situation you're in, the first thing people say, okay, who are you? What is your name? Because once you give that up, you have given up a particular part of you, power of you, that they will always have to be able to beckon you at their will. Okay? So who do you think God will get that power to make move at their will? No one. Now, he will give you a way to reach him, which is why when Jesus went on, Moses said, well, who do I tell? He's saying, I am that I am. He's basically saying, it's not none of your business. You just tell him, I am sent you. And when he get there, he said, okay, well, he is who he is. Yahuwah says, he who he is, says, let my people go. So that's where Yahuwah, or Jehovah, or Yahweh, in many ways to say, comes from. And he says, okay, this is who I am forever. You always remember this. Okay, I'm not Buddha. I'm not, the betting. I'm Yahuwah. So you know I am who I am. So learning the language reveals, at least a small thing. Learning the language reveals things like this. There are a lot of deeper things, that the language reveals about God. Even the name Elohim. That was another thing about the name Elohim. When we say Yahweh, when we say Elohim, these are two names that we use in the Bible. And it was used because parts of the Torah, what we call the Torah, were written by separate priests from different divisions of the kingdom. You know, you have the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. In the southern kingdom, in Judah and Benjamin, where the temple was actually located with them, they had a personal more, because this is the house of God that they had in their midst, so they would commune with God on a more personal level, which is why they knew him as Yahuwah, or he who is. Where in the northern kingdom, they just basically would worship him as God, which is they will call the Elohis. So you have the Yahwehs, the Elohis, and you have the Deuteronomists, who were the writers, they were more of the perfectionists. They would write more closely to the law. And then you had the priests. So these are four writers that helped to compile the first 5 books of Moses. This is history. We read about it. But the word Elohim is a plural word. You can look this up in any concordance in your Bible. It stems from the singular word El and Ella. The word El is all throughout the Bible. Even if you look at the prophets, Ezekiel, Daniel, the angels, Gabriel, Micah, all throughout the Bible, Samael. Okay, Samuel. El is a very important name. Power, it means strong one. Power, almighty. You see El Shaddai. Strike the strong one, almighty. El. Okay? That is the most high. When you see in Genesis, when Abraham is meeting Melchizedek on the road after this battle, he's introduced to the high priest of Elohim El, meaning the highest El, God, who we call the Father. Okay? El. And Michael, just like Michael, he who dares to be like, El. This is what the names all throughout the Bible mean. And it's why he said, I have surnamed you, Israel. Okay? Very important. Now what is El in comparison to Elohim? Elohim is plural. Elohim means, in the English, it would mean gods with an S. This is in the Bible. However, when it's dealing with the Most High, you're talking about, when you say Elohim, you're talking about the Most High and His heavenly court. If you look in Psalms 82, he's standing before, it says, God standing in the congregation of the mighty. He judges amongst the gods. And he's standing there in the congregation, judging them. And asking them, why do, he's going through all, talking to each one of them. And even Job, when Lucifer, Satan, comes in the midst of a meeting, and God's meeting with the sons of God. This is Elohim. This council of God. The elders, the 24 elders around the throne in Revelation. Okay, this is Elohim, and El is the Father, the King of gods, the God of gods, that it says all throughout the Bible. El Shel Elohim, God of gods. Okay, so understanding these words, now Hebrews back in this time knew this. They knew that there is a council. Now understand these. When I say council, these are like the angels. They come from this council. Michael, Lucifer himself was a very, you read in Isaiah how he fell. Most people don't understand the fall of Satan. How could he have fallen? And to know who he was. Now, he was what you would consider what Michael is right now. That's why he and Michael fought. He was the highest angel in the heavens before Michael, before he fell. His problem was, like many of us, pride and not wanting to serve. He felt that because of his high, and God gives him, if you read in Isaiah, he's telling the truth about who he was, his beauty, his position, his mind. He was a very high-ranking being. He controlled a lot in the kingdom. But at the creation of man, at the creation of a being of Adam from the ground, and he is composed of fire and light. This is why I said I took the fire from the midst of you. From the midst of you came fire. There's a lot you need to know about who he is and why he failed, because you need to know that, make sure you don't do the same. Rebellion is not what you think. He rebelled because he felt he was above the creation of man and got jealous and pride because he felt like, why should I serve someone that's physically lower than me and mentally and spirit? I'm this, I'm that, I'm Lucifer. Why I got that is what caused, and because of that, he went throughout the kingdom. Rallying, this is what he said amongst the stars of heaven. When you understand something, heaven, Jesus said, in my Father's house are many mansions. We're talking about the stars in the heavens. When they mention the stars, they really talking about the stars. That really other places like Earth in the heavens that were controlled by beings underneath God, on these councils underneath God, that they ruled. Lucifer was, that's why they call him the early morning star, son of the dawn, the early morning star. He also, that's why he said, I will take my throne and place above the stars of heaven, and I will be like the Most High. And I will scale up to the sides of the north. He's talking about here on earth too, because there's a mount that God speaks about all throughout the Bible called Mount Zion, which we know is Mount Hermon. It is one of the highest peaks on the planet Earth. And this is where they would talk about the council would meet at certain times. And this is more real, y'all, than a lot. You really have to get into really understanding what took place in the kingdom. The kingdom is greater than a lot of us probably realize because of the language that we're reading about, in the Bible. When you expand your language base, and you go deeper into the language, it broadens and opens up the kingdom to you.
Yes, sir.
It really does. Now I don't want to go too far. I know my time, but I want y'all to really get that and understand that. And like I said, in Hebrew class, we tell us more and we get into the language. Itself. I talk a lot like this because learning the language is the easy part. But when you learn any language, it's easier when you understand the culture and the background, where it comes from. It sets you more into it. The main reason why this is so important because this is the language of the book that we base our souls on. So you definitely should know. So that is the key things that I want to just really say tonight and get, really get on your hearts about really getting to the study of the language, finding things and understanding things that were not given to us as slaves because they didn't want us to know. One, but we couldn't read it to even find out, So, certain things, it was not the time. Our forefathers and grandparents, they lived by faith. It was because of their faith that they were able to give birth to a generation of us that can get the knowledge. They were not able to get the knowledge, but they had the faith. Their faith was rock stone hard. So they were able to give birth. God saw their faith, so he said, okay, I will give you the children that will get the knowledge. And here we are. But don't sit on the couch watching TV. Open the book. 15, 20 minutes. I learned this language very easily, and I'm nothing special about me. But I learned the language simply because I made it. And said, okay. My Savior was a Hebrew man as he walked the planet. The book that we read was really revealed in Hebrew, Arabic, and of course the New Testament in Greek. I need to understand that the enemy today will try to deceive me by influencing those who may have the authority to do translation. They may not know, and which is why we have so many. They may not know that something they are writing in there is not correct. A lot of them are not Hebrews. They're not even, a lot of them are not even Christians. If you check the councils of these people that do the translation, they'll tell you who's on there. Some of them are not even Christian. They're just linguists. They make no language. But they don't understand. See, that's why, again, that's why the Holy Book for thousands of years was kept in the temple, so that it would never leave the language. So when you go to hear it, you would hear it in the language, and you would understand it in the language. And if you could not, if you didn't know the language, you would order that you would have someone there who would interpret tongues. But the scripture would stay right. Well, so that's why it's important today. Let's take it back. We got the English, of course. Just like I said, in school you got to start in kindergarten, but you don't stay in kindergarten. You got to keep going up. You got to learn. There's more to learn about the Bible than what's just given to us. We let's go. We are it's ours. I keep saying this. We learn who you are. You are from the tribes of Israel. This is not a joke. You're going to hear a lot about this more and more and more. This is not something on YouTube. Of course, they're talking about it, but this is not something. This is something I've been studying for a long time. I mean, before even around the time the internet was just getting started, this was already known, and slowly masters knew it. The world knows it. We just don't. So I'm gonna stop there. I don't want to, but I just want, like I said, I want y'all to really get that in your hearts. Come to the Hebrew class, because I want y'all to start speaking it. When you start actually speaking it, and you can feel it. It's a lot. They call it a dead language because it's not spoken anymore. But when you speak it, it's alive. Especially when you're reading the scripture, it brings it alive. It brings it alive. But thank y'all for listening. I appreciate it.